Hi you guys, it's Sean here. I saw this beef and cheese patty at Dollar Tree for $1.25. Word on the street, it tastes really, really good. So I want to try it. What does it say? Beef and cheese turnover. It says microwave or air fry it. Keep frozen. Y'all know I'm going to put in the good old air fryer because, things to me taste better when they're in the air fryer. Okay, 280 calories. Let me see what this sodium talking about. Okay, the sodium not too bad. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, my eyes playing tricks on me. I thought it said 0. I mean, it's not too bad. Because what my doctor say? Just how I get 5,000 in the sodium, right? 5,000 milligrams a day in the sodium to keep my blood pressure where it won't be too high. Okay, so here are the instructions. I'm gonna do the air fryer. Let me tell you something. I don't never follow the directions that it gives for air fryer. I always do my own little thing, you know what I'm saying? They always say you can put it in a conventional oven, but I'm gonna put it in the air fryer. Hi guys, how you doing? I am Deshawn, and I am coming to you with a taste test of this beef and cheese pate. It says beef and cheese turnover. Microwave or air fry. And y'all know me, I like my stuff in the air fryer. So I put it in the air fryer. And it's by SABROSISIMO. It's by them people. SABROSISIMO. Yeah. So on the picture, you see it got some cheese and a little pepper right there. So maybe it's going to have a little spice, and I'm okay with that because a little spice make everything nice. Okay, let me talk about grace, y'all. God's great. God's good. Let's thank you for our food. By the atmosphere, give us our daily bread. Amen. Woo! All right, now. How y'all doing today? It is some beautiful weather right now. Right now. Earlier today, it was raining. Unfortunately, it was raining. But right now, the sun is out. It's in the 70s. It's sunny. I'm finna try this out because everybody and their mama been talking about this. Look like a hot pocket to me. And I wanted it in the air fryer because I wanted to have like a little crunch to it. So here we go, y'all. Did I say my grace? Did I say my grace? Let me say my grace just in case. God's great, God's good. Let's take it for our food. By the atmosphere, give us our daily bread. Amen. Okay. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. I made a new friend. Okay. I'm not going to say friend because I don't know him. But I met this guy and we were having a conversation, laughing and joking. Y'all know I'm a talker. So if you sit by me, I'm going to talk to you. Oh, it smells good, y'all. You know what it smells like? It smells like what you call them things? Y'all know what I'm talking about with the vegetables? I can't even think straight, y'all, because I ain't had nothing to eat. I ate breakfast. What I eat for breakfast? I ate a gluten-free cereal. I'm proud of myself. Yay, me. But it smelled like I was just getting ready to say it, but a chicken pot pie. That's what it smelled like, a chicken pot pie. And it's over there by the chicken pot pies at Dollar Tree, and it's $1.25, and everybody and their mama been talking about these things, but they say that they make theirs in the microwave. I'm not gonna put mine in the microwave. I might one day, but depending on how good it is. Okay. It was a lot of crust. That's all I tasted was crust. I have not reached the meat yet. Or the cheese. It's a lot of crust. Still a crust. I'm ready for the meat and cheese. I'm ready. I'm ready. So anyway, me and the guy, we sitting next to each other, laughing, joking, and then having a good time. You know, we just, of course, we had to talk about the weather because the weather in Texas has been, as usual, crazy. And I asked him because he was pretty, y'all, but not too pretty. He was like a natural pretty. You know what I'm saying? Like he wake up in the morning and wash his face and then put some coconut oil on. That kind of pretty. So I asked him. I said, "Where you from?" He started laughing. He said, "Where you from?" I said, "I asked you first. Tell me where you from." So he told me where he was from. I knew he wasn't from Texas because he looked. He was, you know, he was giving. You know what I'm saying? He was dressed and he smelled real good. Not saying men in Texas don't smell good, but he had a natural smell good scent. You know what I'm saying? Not natural like funky natural, but it was a good natural like his body chemistry. Just you know what I'm saying? So he told me where he was from. I was like, I knew it. And he was like, how you know? I said, I just knew. And he was like, so tell me where you from. I was like, I'm from Texas. He was like, nah, you're not from Texas. Baby, yes I am. He was like, you don't look like you from Texas. I said, how do Texas people look? I got a little bit of meat. Um, I got a little bit of meat. I need a little bit more meat. It has a little spice to it, a little bit of spice. If you're somebody who don't like spicy food, you'll be able to eat this because it's not real spicy. I don't want no more crust, man. That was crust. It got a lot of crust, y'all. If you're somebody who like crust, you're gonna definitely like it. So anyway, I asked him what people from Texas what they look like. He was like, he said, you look like from where I'm from. I was like, I get that a lot. Not in the exact spot where you said, but in that area. I get that a lot. I said, myself and my kids. So he was like, oh, yeah. I was like, yeah. He's like, but he said, you don't seem like you from Texas. I said, why you say that? He said, because he said, you too sweet. You don't know me. What you mean I'm too sweet? He's like, you real nice. You don't know me. Why you say I'm nice? Y'all know what this tastes like? Um, I've tried something that tastes similar to this. Um, it tastes like no, it don't. Never mind. It don't taste like that. I've had something that tastes similar to this, but this I like that the meat is chewy. I like that. But anyway, so I was like, you don't know me, so you can't say that I'm nice and I'm sweet. He's like, from this conversation that we've been having this whole time, he said, you come off as a sweetheart. I was like, really? He was like, yeah. I was like, I don't know how. I was like, ain't nothing sweet about me. He started laughing or whatever. So I asked him how long he been here. He said he been here a few years. I was like, oh, okay. I said, you got family here? He was like, yeah, he got family here. I said, you married? So I wanted him to tell the truth. He don't know me. He ain't got no reason to lie to me. I said, you married? He said, yeah, he married. I was like, oh. He was like, what? I was like, you told the truth. And he was like, yeah, why wouldn't I? I was like, I'm just saying. A lot of y'all that I meet, y'all give me that same line that y'all just got a divorce or going through a divorce or something. He was like, nah, not him and his wife. So I was like, well, I'm glad. I'm glad to hear that. You know what I'm saying? And so he started telling me about his wife. And I was like, oh, okay. And he was like, you kind of look like my wife. I said, no, we're not finna start that. I don't look like your wife. He was like, no, you don't look like her. He said, but you look like the females where I'm from. He said, maybe your people where I'm from. He was like, do you know your mom and your pop? Yes. He was like, do you know your grandparents? Yes. You know where they from? Yes. He was like, well, somewhere down the line, you might be where I'm from. I don't know. Maybe. But I told him, we from Texas. We some Texans. I asked him how old he was. I wanted to know his age. I said, how old are you? He told me his age, y'all. He said 60. Ain't no way. I said, you 60 for real? He was like, yeah. I was like, I don't believe you, y'all. He looked young in the mud. He looked like he was about, I'm going to say about 35. That's what he looked like. He was about 35. Talking about he was 60. I was like, He said, I am. He pulled his ID out, showed me his ID. I was like, oh, okay. I said, that's what's up. He was like, how old are you? I said, what if I told you I was 60? He said, I wouldn't believe you. Now I know what it tastes like, y'all. It tastes like tamales. If you ever had tamales before, this is what it tastes like. Yeah, like tamales. That's what it tastes like. And I like tamales, you know what I'm saying? It tastes like a crusty tamale. So I asked him, how many kids you have? What did he say, 5? 4 or 5? I was like, oh yeah? I was like, what age are they? He was like, the same age as you. I said, I don't believe you. I said, how old are your kids? And he told me the age of his kids. Baby, no. I said, your kids are younger than me. He's like, yeah, but you look just like them. I said, yeah, but your kids are younger than me. Matter of fact, I'm old enough to be your kid's parent. You know? Well, am I? Yeah. Yeah. He was like, I don't believe you. You show me your ID. I said, it don't bother me that you don't believe me. You ain't got to believe me. He's like, oh, that's not fair. I showed you mine. I said, okay, but I'm not going to show you mine. I said, you might start trying to stalk me and everything. He was like, nah. He said, I love my wife. I said, it's good. I'm glad to hear that. You know, we started talking about his kids, and I was telling him about my kids, you know. And he was like, he said, you have babies. I was like, yeah, they are younger than your kids. He was like, that's how I know that you real young, because you got babies. I was like, no, that's not how it goes. That's not how it works. But anyways, he was cool in the mug, y'all. We talked, and then, you guys, it was time for us to say our goodbyes, because I had things to do. So I proceeded to tell him, you know, you have a blessed day and all that good stuff. And I wanted to get him a prayer card, and I was like, something's missing. He was like, what? What's wrong? I was like, where's my purse? Where's my bag? He was like, you didn't have one. I was like, you sure? I was like, I don't just be without it. You know what I'm saying? He was like, you didn't have one. I was like, oh, no. He was like, what's wrong? I was like, I need to give you something. And he said, you don't have to give me anything. And then he, you know, because we had a discussion about men and gifts and everything. I was like, no, not that type of thing. I was like, y'all know I be passing out prayer cards, whatever. That's why I was wanting to get him a prayer card, but I didn't have nothing on me, which is odd, but I didn't have nothing on me. So I ain't had no lip gloss, no nothing on me. I'm in the streets with no lip gloss. What? I was tripping. But anyways, he said, I have something for you. I was like, remember we talked about this? He's like, no, it's not nothing like that. Because I told him, you know, how men, they give you gifts. And yeah, I told him about your friend, the one who be giving all the gifts and stuff. I told him about him. I told him about a lot of people. We talked about a lot of things, y'all. So anyways, he handed me his business card. I looked at the business card and I read it. Guess what was on his business card, y'all? Guess what, y'all? He had a prayer on his business card. That is so nice. I was so happy. I was like, oh. He was like, what? I said, I like your card. And he was like, you do? I was like, yeah, this is nice. He was like, I'm glad you like it. He said, so I know you're not from Texas because you like my card. I said, man, don't start that again. And then I said, well, I got something for you. So, y'all, I had to have him to follow me to one of my people that I know that got some of my prayer cards, so that I can get him a prayer card, y'all. I gave him a prayer card. I had to go get a prayer card for him, you know what I'm saying? But I gave him one. And he was like, dang, that's how I know you're not from Texas. I said, man, stop playing. But yeah, I'm so glad that I met him. I told him, I said, hope one day that we meet again and I get to meet your family. Because, he told me about his family and everything. I said, I want to meet your wife and your kids and everything. And he was like, yeah, I hope we get to do that one day. And then he told me that he was a pastor. I was like, you a pastor? He was like, yeah. I was like, wow. He was like, what? I started thinking in my head, I'm like, ooh, what did we talk about? Make sure I ain't saying nothing too crazy. He was like, does that bother you that I'm a pastor? I was like, nah, that's cool. Now, y'all know that I know a lot of pastors. He don't know me. But I was like, no, it don't bother me that you're a pastor. But he didn't look like no pastor, honey. I wasn't looking too much, you know what I'm saying? Because he was married and everything. But he didn't look like a pastor. But then again, my pastor don't look like no pastor. Y'all seen my pastor. So I like this, y'all. I like this. Would I get this again? Yes. Not anytime soon. I do like it though. It reminds me of tamales, and I like tamales. Will I eat it in the microwave? Yeah. I might want to try it from the microwave. Nah. I don't know, y'all. We'll see. Y'all let me know if y'all tried this. And how did y'all cook y'all? I don't like that it has so much crust. I don't like that about it. But besides that, it tastes okay. I like this a little bit spicy. Yeah. I would pick it up again, but not anytime soon. Probably in about in about 6 months, I'll probably try it again. You know what I'm saying? And I'll probably put it in the microwave. I just don't like how crusty it is. It got too much crust for me. I don't like all that crust. He told me where his church is. And what's so crazy is his church is not too far from my church. Well, yes it is. No, it's not. No, it's not. Yeah, they close to each other. And will I visit him at his church? Nah, I love my church. I don't know, y'all. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe once I get to know him better and I meet his family and everything, maybe I might go visit. If, say, that my pastor don't need me at the church one Sunday, if he come to me and say, next Sunday you won't have to come to church, then I might go visit him at his church. I don't know, I don't know. But his business card, I love it. I love how it has a prayer on there. I think on his card, did it say pastor? It probably did, but y'all know my vision ain't the best. It's not the best. But he was sweet, y'all. He was nice. If he was single, not for me. Y'all know I don't like older men anymore. But I will hook him up with somebody I know. Yep. No, I forgot. I don't do that no more. Forgot, y'all. Forgot. But he was nice. He looked nice. I'm going to be honest, y'all. You know who he looked like? Y'all know that one who wanted me to go out of town with him. They look like they could be family. I'm trying to think, are they from the front? Nah, they're not from the same place. But they close to each other. They are close to each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, but they do kind of look alike. Yeah, they did kind of look alike. They probably are kinfolk. Just from different areas. You know what I'm saying? They did kind of look alike. You know, the one who I tried to figure out if me and him was family because me and him kind of look alike. So this pastor dude, me and him, from what he tell me about his wife, she sound like she looked like me. And looking at him, he did look like the male version of me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe we all can. I don't even know. But he was cool though. You know what I'm saying? I just had to come and tell y'all about him. He was nice. I got his business card. That's it. I did not give him my number. I gave him a prayer card. I'm not going to call him. If it's meant for me to visit his church, it will happen naturally. Put it like that. But make sure y'all thumbs up the video if you're a foodie like I am and you like trying and tasting new food like I do. Let me know if y'all tried this. Did you like it? How did you cook it? Thanks for watching, you guys. Be blessed.